With the sequel of Practical Magic being released this year on September 11th, today I'll be discussing and silently reliving my trip to Coupeville, Washington, the witchy location that was used to sell us a dream of a New England town and the home of the Owens sisters. So go grab your brooms, my friends. We're going to the place where the Hollywood magic didn't just happen, it stayed. There's a reason this movie resonates so deeply with us. While the community projects the archetype of the evil witch onto Sally and Jillian Owens, you quickly come to realize that the sisters are simply women seeking belonging, community, and the freedom to be themselves. Throughout the film, they struggle with their belief systems while navigating a societal and magical landscape defined by denial, fear, and ridicule, in a town that doesn't understand them and is somewhat fearful of them. Instead of feeling compassion for the family as they deal with this heartbreaking curse, some of the townspeople believe they are actually killing their husbands and even making placenta bars. While their ancestor Maria sits pregnant crying alone on the beach, you can feel the desperation and her pain of having love and community ripped away from her. You can understand how that pain can turn into and remain a curse. As their world crumbles, they eventually realize that true power is being your most authentic self, and being different isn't something to hide, it's a strength. Aunt Frances said it best. My darling girl, when are you going to realize that being normal is not necessarily a virtue? It rather denotes a lack of courage. This is a lesson we should all embrace. Coupeville leans into its historical and witchy identity. Every October, they hold a month-long celebration known as the Haunting of Coupeville. It becomes a giant coven for fans and locals alike, wearing their best pointy hats and capes. Captain Thomas Coupe, the town's namesake, parked his ship in the mudflats of his own backyard to claim the waterfront, leading to local legends that many of the historic wooden structures still house the restless energy of the sailors who couldn't quite bring themselves to leave their beloved Penn Cove. Beyond its history, this area is a captivating blend of maritime heritage and natural beauty. It serves as the heart of Eby's Landing National Historical Reserve. It's nestled in the rain shadow of the Olympic Mountains, and the landscape is defined by the deep water inlet of Penn Cove, famed for its historic wharf and mussel farming. It feels like a living museum where 19th century architecture and remnants of military history, such as the silent guns of Fort Casey, sit against a backdrop of coastal prairies. Practical Magic hit theaters in 1998, giving us Sandra Bullock, Nicole Kidman, and enough witchy aesthetic to define a generation. Location scouts chose Coupeville because they needed a coastal setting that could masquerade as a historic New England town. With its preserved 19th century clapboard storefronts, the town provided an authentic, lived-in appearance that would have been impossible to replicate on a Hollywood soundstage. The production team was given permission to transform the entire length of Front Street to match their vision for the fictional Martha's Island. Coupled with the Pacific Northwest's naturally soft, overcast light, they had consistent filming conditions free from harsh, distracting shadows. Coupeville provided the essential atmosphere required to bring the movie's magical world to life. The famous Front Street waterfront appears throughout the film and gives the fictional town its unforgettable charm. It's one of those places where every direction looks like a postcard. Or the beginning of a ghost story. I mean, honestly, either one works. You'll also recognize the Coupeville Wharf. The iconic waterfront frequently appears in the background of the town's scenes, helping establish the film's New England atmosphere. The Owens house was located on San Juan Island, designed by the New York-based studio Roman & Williams. The exterior shell of the house, surrounding gardens, and landscape took 6 months to build. Once filming concluded, the house was dismantled in just over a day, as the production team was committed to restoring the site to its exact original condition. The iconic interiors of the Owens house were created by the same company. Robin and Steven accessed their own witchy intuitiveness, designing the set on a Los Angeles soundstage that was filled with rich textures, dark wood, stained glass, and a sunlit kitchen. By layering the space with vintage apothecary bottles, dried flowers, and ancient books, they created a home that felt both magical and lived in. This masterpiece has become an enduring symbol of cinematic interior design. All I can say is I still want to live in that house. 4 Front Street was Verbena Botanicals, Sally Owens' herb shop. If you stand there, you can almost smell the lavender, and, well, mostly just the salt air from Penn Cove. Also, don't go knocking on that door looking for a love potion. I tried, and the owner was remarkably unhelpful. Sadly, no magical potions, no enchanted herbs, and no spell guaranteed to make your neighbor stop mowing at 7 in the morning. Beyond the primary locations on Front Street, there are several other specific spots in and around Coupeville that appeared in Practical Magic or were used for production purposes. Speaking of location, we have waited over 2 decades for this sequel. The iconic house, Sandra Bullock, Nicole Kidman, and the Ants are reuniting when Practical Magic 2 hits theaters. The question that immediately came to my mind, and I'm sure everyone else's, was did they go back to our beloved Coupeville? Sadly, no. While the original town's witchy atmosphere was iconic, production for the sequel moved to England to follow the plot as the sisters travel abroad to confront the source of their family's magic. Even though they didn't film in Coupeville, the town remains a major destination for fans. Local leaders and business owners are hopeful that the release of the sequel will drive even more film tourism to the original sites. This story belongs on our channel because it reframes what it means to be strange. While the world often views witches as forces of evil, the Owens sisters are simply outsiders fighting for something we all crave: connection, community, and the courage to be yourself. Coupeville is the perfect backdrop for this journey, a thin place where historic streets blur the line between reality and the supernatural. If you enjoyed today's adventure, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss another journey to the strange and unusual. Until next time, stay curious, stay spooky, and remember, sometimes the real magic is hiding in places you'd never expect.